Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do an empty house walkthrough of the new mountain bike ranch out here in Ocala, Florida. We just picked this up and it's somewhat remodeled inside, but we're going to do a lot of aesthetic remodeling. Nothing structural, but let's get into it. So, got a French door in the front that's painted very teal, and it has a smart system, but I'll get into some of the pros and cons of that real quick. As we come in, we do have a decorative ceiling up there that needs some love. This whole house kind of needs some love. You could see that the door has a lot of coats of paint on it. It needs to be cleaned up, but it's a heavy French door, which is really cool. Now this is a smart system, and actually the first thing that you should do whenever you purchase a home and you have occupancy of that home, you should change the locks immediately, because we waited a day, and within that day the prior homeowner's brother or the cleaning crew, somebody we cannot confirm, but we're pretty sure it was the brother, broke into the house and kind of actually pulled up to the house right as we were pulling up as well. And I don't think it was a coincidence. So change the locks immediately. So right here we have a little mudroom sort of entryway with a bench style coat rack. And this sort of coastal beadboard theme is throughout the house, even though it's kind of a farmhouse. This is a coastal farmhouse. It's got a lot of contemporary design cues. And one of those is this natural, I would call it chopping block. It's just a natural bench top, and this farmhouse gray wood flooring. This is engineered flooring, so it's just like an engineered vinyl, but it's that snap together kind, so it's a lot more durable than a standard vinyl, and it looks pretty good. In my opinion, I don't love the gray, but we're gonna do what we can to make it work and be cohesive throughout the house. But my biggest pet peeve is the fact that we have a very natural dark wood on this gray. It doesn't do it for me, so we're gonna have to figure something out with it. So that's the entryway. Don't plan on doing too much with this, aside from maybe painting that beadboard on the back. And then I'll step back as we enter the house. We have the dining room area here, and we can't complain too much about the overly farmhouse styling of this thing, because it is really beautiful inside. We could just move in here and be happy with the farmhouse styling, but we're gonna kind of make it our own and work with what we have and do some aesthetic remodeling, but nothing structural, to make it a more cohesive space, because a lot of the remodeling was done by the previous owner themselves, which we just learned from the brother that showed up in the driveway awkwardly. So we kind of think that he was the one that came into the house unannounced without us being here or knowing about it. And so some of the remodeling stuff is, in my opinion, it's just like Pinterest thrown at a wall and seeing what sticks. So there's not a lot of cohesiveness throughout the house. And I went to school and got a degree in architecture and design, so I do know a thing or two about it. So we're gonna do our best to revive this place, because it is really nice, and structurally it's sound and has all sorts of remodels that are efficient for us to just make the house our own. So right here is a perfect example of a halfway done renovation. This is a beadboard, but they didn't paint any of it, and you can see it's really glossy, which is kind of a no-no for interiors. And they just nailed it straight into the studs, but didn't do any of the finish work to cover up those nails or paint it. To make this stuff look really cohesive, you should finish it and paint it as a standard sheetrock or drywall, to make it look like it matches the rest of the house. Obviously, you're saving some time by just nailing it up there, and it doesn't look too bad from afar, but once you get really close to it, you can tell that it is just kind of like not finished. But I do love the coastal Key West style that whole wall shows. I hate this Farmhouse light fixture, so that's gonna go. But I really do like the way that this whole living space is open. It's an open floor plan. And you'll probably have noticed these exposed beams. These are faux beams that I don't think the previous owner put in, but the owner before that, because the craftsmanship is a lot better than what we can see from the previous owner, the last owner's renovations, because they finished it pretty well with the crown molding, and these beams are very nice. I think the beams were here, and the prior owner just stained them to match the flooring. So we're gonna change up the color of the beams as well to try to tie this natural wood in with the rest of the house and kind of take away the focus of this really gray farmhouse floor. We're gonna go with a light pine color on the beams, and we'll just see how that works. If not, it's not a huge loss to just restain them this color or paint them white, because it'll still come through as an architectural cue, which is really nice. And then we'll change out that light fixture to make something a little bit, I would say modern. A lot of this is contemporary farmhouse, and I really don't prefer that. Now, I'll turn the camera here to check out the actual living room. Cammy's setting up the router. And on the other side, it's just as open, has a big window and a farm style door, which is cool. It's kind of like I can't remember what those are called, but almost has like the top that opens up, and you set a pie on it or something like that. But we have a faux fireplace that's a built-in, which is really cool. It really fooled us because we thought it was a real fireplace, but if we inspect the roof line, there's no chimney. So that's a built-in. We're gonna lime wash all the brick on the inside and the outside to brighten up the look and make it look a little bit more contemporary. The brick look is a little bit dated. If we were in like New York or something and could kind of accent that brick a little bit better, it would work better in a space. But for what that is, we're gonna whitewash it or lime wash it and probably change up that mantle, because that's also like a very farmhousey style mantle there. And then if we pan this way, gotta watch out for these fixtures. We have a in-home office, which could honestly turn this house into a four bedroom. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath or 2.5 bath. And this is a in-home office that we're gonna use for that same exact purpose. And we're gonna put a built-in on this wall to make it sort of, nice and fancy in there. Do some European styling on the built-in, make a sort of matte English style built-in, and have an office desk in the middle of a built-in, which is going to be very nice to tie this room into the rest of the house without making it like a cluttered office. And then also the plan is to frame in this doorway with a French door, a big glass French door, so that we get all the light, but also can kind of get some privacy in there whenever it's going to be Cammy's office, so whenever she's working. And we'll obviously take out that sort of built-in shelf. The prior owners had kids that they were homeschooling in here, so they had that thing. But you could see that they did remodel the interior to a certain degree, but then they did stuff like this where this is just like fur stripping and some hardwood kind of thrown together with some brackets, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it just doesn't scream finished product to me. And a lot of the renovations that they did are sort of on that line, where I can also relate to this because as a first-time homeowner, you don't really understand the impact of doing stuff halfway because you just live with it. But After you learn for a while, you definitely realize that if you want to have stuff that looks good, you have to kind of go the whole 9 yards on it. So that's this in-home office. And then right there, you can see this is the shining star of the house. We have a pretty contemporary farmhouse kitchen with the matte sort of colorway, almost a two-tone look. I would have went two-tone with it to make it just, again, a more cohesive design, because with this butcher block top, that's like a really different color than anything else in the house aside from that bench top. It really just stands out to my eye. Let me know what you think about that, but if it was just white, it would really tie everything in, and using neutral colors is a better way to have a more timeless design. And so we have a really nice kitchen. It's actually what sold us on this. We have the subway tile in the back that goes all the way around to here. And you do notice that there is the natural sort of butcher block top on that shelf as well. And it would have been a little bit more cohesive. I'm going to keep on saying that, but that's the word that I could think of right now. There was a coffee bar here that used this same style stain and color, but they took it with them for whatever reason. I'm not really sure, because it was very rustic farmhouse with this piping, and so unless your house had a subway tile and a perfect fit for that thing, it would have been nice to just keep it for us, a good gesture. So it didn't stay, but now we're gonna have to probably build something or tear that out to make it look a little bit better. But then the whole thing is we have to try to match this butcher block top, because it's such a standout. And that's why I'm saying if it was white on top, or they use like a neutral color, I would have matched the cabinets with a white, so it's a two-tone look. Would have helped out the long-term design aspect of this house. Then in here we have a laundry room, but you do see the butcher block kind of follows through on this thing, and then but you don't really see this stuff. You only see like one or two pieces, which are the countertops, and it stands out quite a bit. But we have a nice folding station, and then these cabinet doors that sort of match the plantation shutters, which is awesome. And then this is actually the pantry that they were using. Just really 90s style particle board style shelving that's built in. We'll have to think about something to do with that. And really standard, but a really nice option, because we weren't expecting to have a laundry room. And then out here we have a big garage, which is really nice. It actually has a bonus nook over here, which I think that might be a little home gym. And then we'll use the rest of this for like bike stuff, obviously, and just a standard workshop. There's a nice bench over there. It doesn't need a good clean and whatnot, but it's a garage, so two-car and has a lot of space. And so we enter back into the house, and I'll show you what it looks like from the far corner of the kitchen. Very open concept. It's a really beautiful house, so anything that we do to improve it's only going to make it better. And I didn't show you guys the plantation shutters on here, but all the windows have plantation shutters, and they're all brand new windows. Out there, you can probably see, I'm not going to go out there because it's kind of rainy. There is a tree house that we're going to modify to make it just a seating observation deck for like meals and whatnot. We're going to keep the treehouse for a while so that some children can enjoy it in the family, but for the most part, we're going to change it up. And then there's a big deck, and the backyard is huge. I'm going to show you quickly so I'm not talking forever here. So once we get everything moved in, we're going to have the couch facing that way, so that in the evening time when the sun's setting, we'll have really golden light coming through. It's a really nice vibe in here in the evening time. And then on opposite side of the house, you have all the rooms, so they're all on that wall. Well, they're not all on that wall, but you go down that way and that way. So let's go down this hallway real quick. That's the front door. We have a closet here, very small linen closet, but it's good storage for linens. And then we have a half bath here, or powder room, as I just learned that's what they're called. And it's got the coastal beadboard on the back, but again, not really finished. You can see this, and this is all textured and glossy, so they didn't finish that. But I'm planning on making this like a shanty room, so it's already a good start. Got a nice pedestal sink in here, and this really gaudy, just 2000 style looking light fixture. I do not like that at all, but perfect thing is we could change those out and sell them, so we'll do that. And right across from the bathroom is a barn door style princess room, so you could lock your kids in this room and not have to worry. It's actually a pretty good concept. It looks like they just split this old door and put some crown molding on here, or trim. And again, they didn't finish the trim at all, but that's okay. And yeah, pretty cool little hack for a giant play area that you could lock kids into. But yeah, sparkly wall, chandelier, and pink everywhere. So pretty crazy. And then on this other side, we have what will be a home office, which will be my office. And another nice renovation that they added, or improvement that they added, was these really modern fans. And in my opinion, they're very coastal. So they work really well with these plantation shutters, which in the long run, we're gonna try to go with a coastal look, and try to make it more boho. But again, with this gray flooring, it's gonna be a real challenge. So if you have gray flooring and you're trying to figure out how to do some upgrading and I guess updating, you could try to figure out some ideas from our process here. We're gonna share it all on the channel. And then really cool, we have a Jack and Jill bathroom in this office. And I guess it's not so cool. Hello. But we have the full bath in here, a new toilet with the water saver, and this really old vanity that matches the washer dryer vanity. So we know that this is probably from the 80s, whenever the latest remodel happened, like the latest major remodel happened. And we go through and we're in the princess room. This door is probably, I don't know, 18 inches. So I'm not sure if they built one of these doors in for the Jack and Jill, and this was only a single bathroom at a certain point, but interesting to note on. And then across the hall from the office and looking down the residence is the master. And we have a blue wall here, which is terrible. Same fans throughout the house, which is really nice. But you can see that this board and batten style, like coastal theme, kind of transitions throughout the house, but it's more farmhouse than it is coastal. I would have went with more of like a Nantucket style with this look, and that's what I'm probably gonna go with. But I don't know. Let me know if you could kind of pick up on the like halfway done style that the remodel was done with this sort of stuff. I can kind of pick up on it because I know that feeling of not finishing something, so I could totally relate to it. And anytime I feel like that, I just have to do exactly the opposite of what I'm feeling. So this is the walk-in closet technically, and it will also need probably an entire facelift. We're gonna make it a little bit more practical and nice inside. Now, if you think I'm crazy, or we're crazy for wanting to do so much stuff with a house that's already been like pretty much well done and it's totally livable right now, just let me know, because this is supposed to be our dream house. So we're gonna make it into what we want, not what another person wants. And then up here, you can see Farmhouse again, like a weird, big old, like curtain rod cover for whatever reason, and popcorn ceilings on these ceilings, only in the bedrooms, that we're gonna go board and batten on the top if it works within our budget. We're about to do that right now. So it actually ties in the coastal look throughout the house. I think it will do really well. And we'll probably do it in here as well, because this one's probably the worst room in the house. You can see from this angle, it looks, or actually just from right here, it looks like it would be a really nice and modern style coastal bathroom. But then you start scrolling down and you see this vanity and you're like, wait, why is that there? And then you come in here and there's sandstone tile, and it's matched against a mint, or it's a really light mint / teal against a sandstone with like a racing stripe throughout it. But then you look here and it's very coastal. And the finishing work in here, they scrape the popcorn. You can see they used a gloss paint, and you can just see all the streaks in the paint. So that's one thing that we learned, never use gloss paint. Now on top of that, this is furring just throughout. It's not anything special. It's just like 1x2 furring strip that they didn't really finish that well. And again, I'm just talking BS here because, you know, this is one of our first like full-on like projects that we're gonna get into. So who knows what we'll do, but I know if I had the money, which these people did, I would have just paid somebody to do a better job than this. So again, this whole bathroom's gonna get renovated. It's got a different floor color than this, so different floor color, just kind of like pieced together, but it does up front look really nice, so we can't complain too much. And you know, it's just nitpicky stuff, which I'm happy about. Like, we get to do a really nice uplift to the house without doing anything structural or changing anything major. We just have to do some painting, change some fixtures. This bathroom will be probably the biggest project that's gonna be needed, and that'll be it. We just have to go through, change some baseboards, paint, and the ceilings in the bathroom. Those are gonna be the two biggest tasks, but aside from that, it's gonna be really just like cosmetic design updates, and we're excited for it. So if you want to follow along with this little farmhouse sort of facelift and change up, then I guess just keep on watching the videos, check out the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.